All right, welcome back to another 2021 MLB draft show. And tonight we are joined by the pride of North Oconee. We've got Bogart, Georgia's own Bubba Chandler. Bubba, welcome onto the show, man.
Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah.
Glad to have you, Bubba, man. Well, just talk to me a little bit, man, about your 2021 so far. You've been rising up the rankings like crazy over the last 2 months. You've been pitching your ass off, excuse my language a little bit. But just talk to me a little bit how about your years went so far.
It's went really well. I'm surrounded by a really good team. I think we're top in the country. Got a bunch of guys going to Division I schools. I really haven't had to do it all by myself. But I put in the work over the summer to try to get here, and it worked out.
I gotta ask, you look like you've got a lot of fire on the mound. Can you talk a little bit about who you are as a pitcher and who you are as a shortstop and kind of the whole package on the baseball field?
First off, I just like to have fun, of course. But really, I'm just super competitive, and whenever the moment starts to get big, I feel like I'm just kind of cruise through it, and I'm very grateful that I have that gene or whatever. And but really, the competitive spirit probably and like how I compete on the mound is probably from football. Just that mentality of when you get on a football field, you got to flip a switch so you don't die. And so I kind of just translate that over to baseball, and it works.
Well, absolutely. Well, talk to me a little bit about your football career. I mean, you're a two-sport athlete going to the University of Clemson, so that's a huge deal. Just talk to me about playing in Georgia, which I know has probably got some of the best talent in the country. I mean, it's right up there with Florida, Texas, and anybody else. But just talk to me a little bit about that.
Every Friday night's a battle. Really, you don't really have many off weeks with the competition we play, but I really enjoy it. I was about to quit football all the way up until I hated it playing my freshman and sophomore year, mainly because I didn't play and I didn't see myself going to play college football. And so I just wanted to focus on just playing baseball. And then one of my buddies talked me out of it, saying, hey, man, it's better for you to play football. Makes you a better man, builds character, gets you stronger. So I stuck it out and had a really good junior year. And I wanted to try to play football at the next level, and didn't really get any college recognition, mainly because I was committed to Georgia for baseball. Mm-hmm. So schools weren't really worried about me. And then I told my football coach I wanted to try to experiment and get some schools to look at me. And then I got one offer, and then I got a bunch after that. And then Clemson offered me, and then a bunch of other SEC and ACC schools did. And so I really, really thought I was going to go play college football, and I chose that I wanted to. So
things happen quickly.
It sounds like this is going to be kind of a tough choice for you because baseball has always been in your blood, but it sounds like football is really surging and charging here the last year or so. How do you plan on making that decision? I mean, what sort of things are you going to have to weigh when deciding to go to Clemson or deciding to go, pro in baseball, or all of the different opportunities that are going to be afforded your way?
If I get the opportunity come July to pursue a professional baseball career, I'm going to really think about it. But right now I'm just trying to learn the playbook for Clemson and focus on winning a state championship in baseball here. But I really don't know. My parents said it's 100% my decision, so I'm just gonna let it ride, and then have to make a really tough decision come July, whatever.
Well, hey man, it's a win-win.
Yeah,
that's the toughest great decision the greatest tough decision you can have there, I guess. So
there you go.
Well, North Oconee, Kumar Rocker, you're the next big pitcher to come out of the school. Talk to me a little bit about that. You guys have a relationship? Anything about that? Just dive into if you have it.
Yeah, my freshman year, he was a senior, and I was a shortstop, and I think he hit 4-hole. No, he hit 3-hole, and I hit 5-hole. So we had a pretty good relationship. I was just trying to learn everything from him, every single game that he pitched, every 40 dudes behind the dish. And I really just wanted to be put in that situation one day. And freshman year, I had a pretty good arm, and I was pretty talented, but really just like 6 foot tall, 140 pounds. So I realized if I wanted to be in that situation one day, I was gonna have to work like he did. But we talk a bunch, really just about not even baseball, just talking, like trying to get our minds off different things. He's a great kid, and I mean, he's going to be a future big leaguer for many years.
Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about Bubba Chandler on the mound, because you've got some really explosive stuff on the bump. Can you kind of talk through the viewers as to, what you bring to the mound every night, what your pitch mix is?
Yeah. I throw a fastball, 4-seam fastball, and then occasionally I'll throw a 2-seam fastball if I'm having a tough time landing strikes. Then I have a curveball, just a regular breaking ball, and I have a slider that I don't throw much, but whenever I need to get a strikeout, I pretty much throw the slider. And then I have a circle changeup that's getting there. It's my last outing was actually, I threw it very well, probably the first time in forever, but yeah, I mean, I just attack guys. I feel like every single pitch I throw, no one's going to hit it, which, I mean, that doesn't really work out. But really, I like starting off batters with a fastball or a curveball. And then usually I work backwards in counts, and which I feel like that helps me a bunch, and it will help me a bunch at the next level. Some high school teams you face aren't going to be really that good, but some high school teams are going to come in with a plan, especially with like me, that I throw harder. They're going to try to foul off balls and get my pitch count up and get me out of the game early. So I just try to find the little stuff to attack them that I can beat them with.
Now, I've heard that the fastball is up to 97. Is that kind of your peak, or have you touched anything higher than that?
I don't know. I mean, this time, or this August, I was topping out at like 91, 92. So coming out and sitting like mid-90s and like hitting 97 was kind of wow. But I also put on 50 pounds, so helped a little bit. But not really. I got a lot more in the tank. I haven't really let any pitches go this year. I'm just trying to focus on command right now. Our radar gun we have behind our home plate got me at 97 a few times, and a few of our POs left it out in the rain for like 2 whole days, and so it's a little messed up right now. It's like plus minus 1 or 2, so I may be hitting 98, I may be hitting 99, but
you gotta guesstimate.
Nice.
Well, I've asked a couple of guys who are multi-sport guys. Talk to me about the better feeling, throwing a long touchdown pass or hitting a home run. What's the better feeling for you, or what do you feel like you get the greater accomplishment from?
It really depends. I mean, I don't really like one sport better than the other. It's really just the season that I'm in. Like if I'm playing football and I throw a touchdown pass, I'm going to get the same feeling whether I'm playing baseball and hit a home run. But probably the harder one to do is hit a home run. I mean, I think one of our wide receivers this year threw like 2 touchdowns on trick plays. And I mean, that kid can barely throw a football. So I feel like hitting a harder than throwing a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, I guess tiny guys aren't going to accidentally run into a home run.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Well, I got to ask, you probably received a ton of attention over the winter, introducing yourself to area guys and big league organizations. Anything stand out from those Zoom meetings? Any specific questions or interactions?
Not really. All the Zoom calls I did, that was pretty cool. I wish it was a little different because, like, non-Zoom calls, they'd actually be, like, at my house. So kind of missed out on that with COVID. But really just a lot of guys asked, like, would I choose football over baseball or vice versa? And I mean, it's a tough decision. I'm not going to say much about it, but I mean, I love both sports. So, I mean, those are probably the questions that stuck out to me, where pretty much almost every team asked that same question, except probably two teams.
Sure.
Those two teams, I was like, all right, they didn't ask that question, so I didn't think about it.
Nice.
Well, we got about 4 or 5 months till we get to the draft, or you make your way onto campus at Clemson. What are some things that you want to improve on over these next couple of months to make yourself the best possible prospect you can be?
I'll just continue to get better each start that I have. This past start, I went 6 innings. Could have went more, but I had a rough first inning with a few errors. So my pitch count got ran up a little bit. But really just being every game, being able to consistently throw the mid-high 90s when it gets in the 6th, 7th innings, when I have a higher pitch count and still be able to compete. So this is probably something like that.
As far as, who ends up drafting you at the next level, is there a specific quality about that organization that you're looking for? Something culturally, something, in terms of analytics, something that you kind of want out of your future employer?
Really just a good farm system. I mean, I don't want to get thrown into a situation where it's going to be tough for me to try to get to the ultimate goal, which is the show. Really just an organization that can keep my arm and my body healthy for however many games I need to play in the minor leagues. So something like that.
It's a good answer.
Well, being a multi-sport guy, that's really the last question I kind of have for you tonight. Was there any guys that you looked up to growing up that you really wanted to model your game after? You had plenty of people to choose after playing multiple sports. So was there a couple of guys that you're like, this is the kind of guy I want to be when I grow up?
Yeah. Baseball sounds a little weird, but baseball is Jacoby Ellsbury. And football was just Aaron Rodgers. But Ellsbury, I mean, I just like the way he played, because I used to play the outfield. And so when I first got MLB The Show, he was always one of the best dudes to play with. Yeah. And
I love that. See, that's a good way to answer that.
Yeah. So
yeah, that's a good answer.
When I was younger. And then Aaron Rodgers, I mean, he's technically not the GOAT, but I think quarterback-wise and talent-wise, I think he's the best quarterback of all time. So really just looked up to him playing football.
Well, Bubba, you sure seem to know your stuff. You've got a good head on your shoulders. You got a good arm on your body. We're definitely looking forward to seeing what comes next. I know you mentioned that there were 40 guys with guns behind the backstop for Kumar Rocker, and it sounds like you're getting a lot of the same sort of traffic. So, hey man, we're rooting for you. We really can't wait to see what happens come July, or at Clemson, or at the next level. So you've got a bright future. We're looking forward to watching.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having me.
Appreciate it, Bubba. Thanks a lot, man.
Sir, y'all have a good day.